Holy shit!
What's up guys, this is Merc Music, and in this video I'm going to be showing you guys hiding spots and glitches on the Call of Duty Ghosts map, Prison Break. This map has tons of spots, tons of glitches, infected hiding spots, throwing knife, domination, flag saves, and tons of useful maneuvers. You're going to learn a lot by watching this video, so I highly recommend you stick around for the whole thing. These first two things I'm going to be showing you guys are the dynamic elements of the map. The first log or tree that you can knock over with an explosion will give you a really nice route to the upper middle hill in the map, and the second one will knock over some logs that can kill nearby players if they happen to run through the middle creek over there. Now I'm going to be showing you guys tons of awesome infected hiding spots that you guys can use. You're able to get on top of tons of trees, and I think it's really awesome that Infinity Ward decided to do this. This map kind of reminds me in Afghan in the sense that you're able to explore lots of different parts of the map and get on some really cool spots. So as you come over here by B Domination and you go to the upper hill, you'll notice there are tons and tons of different trees to get into. However, it's going to be up to you to decide which trees you want to get into. There's some trees that you can get into, and in order to get out, you're going to have to take a lot of fall damage. There's some spots like this where you can get to some pretty nice spots. However, you are a little bit more exposed. However, if you're just trying to get a quick kill or two, you will be able to jump right back out. Now, on this tree right here, there's two different kinds of spots you can get into. You can try to get into this first spot where you wedge your way in between both branches. It's okay. However, you can pick off more enemies if you try this really nasty strafe jump. If you get a really nice strafe onto the right, you can get onto a higher part of the tree, and as you start climbing, you'll notice you can get to a better spot and be able to confuse more enemies and get better kills. However, if you go too far, you will fall, and if you jump, you probably will die unless you're running resilience. So I'd recommend resilience when you're trying to get into any of these tree spots. Now, as you work your way back more into the middle of the map and you're not hanging around the edges, you'll notice that there are some pretty cool spots you can get onto. You can get on top of this forklift from the pipes. You can get on top of this truck. This blue wall over here can be mantled from either side, so it's really useful if you're trying to get on top of here. You can go over here by this little booth, and you can jump on top of this thing that would normally close it off. It doesn't move at all, but you can jump on top of it from there, and then you can work your way over here into this corner, which would probably throw off some enemies. It would be good for defending your area by blitz if you're playing blitz. However, I'd recommend that you don't stay there for too long for prolonged use because you'll probably be called a douche a lot. But anyway, we're moving on to some really cool spots. You can choose to either mantle or use ladders to get on top of these mobile homes. They're spread out throughout the entire map. I just wanted to show these two because they're really close to this awesome invisible barrier that you can jump on top of. Once you're on top of this rock, you can get a really nice vantage over there by C Domination. So if you look to your left, you should be able to get some really good kills if you're using an assault rifle. Now, when you come over here by this waterfall and bridge, you can work your way over here by these rocks. You are kind of exposed on the right. However, you can definitely pick off some enemies who are coming from the left side. This next spot on the rocks by the big hill is super helpful if you're trying to surprise enemies coming from the left. People coming from the right will hit you head on, so be careful with those gunfights, and just be aware that your back flank is completely exposed. Now, on this map, there are different kinds of trucks. There are trucks that will explode, and then there's these really big ones that actually do not explode, and you can get under them in order to hide. So if you're trying to hide here for infected, it would be okay. Someone will probably notice you. However, just be aware that you can get under these trucks and you don't have to worry about them blowing up. In this small side building, there is a bomb site for search and rescue and search and destroy, and you are able to crouch jump on top of these different monitors in this room. You're not going to survive for too long, I'd imagine. I don't think this would be too great of a spot, but I just wanted to show you guys that you can use this. Lastly, over here in terms of ledges and glitches and spots, you can get on top of this ledge. However, when you jump across to try to get on top of that ledge, you are blocked. So I just wanted to include that so you guys don't waste your time. When you come over here, just know that if you jump down from here, you're not able to mantle on the right side. However, if you go to the left side, you are able to press A to climb, which is pretty useful if you're trying to run a different route over there. Back over by the big hill, I just wanted to make you guys aware of the fact that once you jump down from here, there is no immediate way to get back up. You're going to have to take a pretty time-consuming route in order to get back up there. So if you're up there, don't jump down if you want to be able to get back up very quickly. So finally, we're going to be wrapping things up here with the throwing knife, domination, flag saves. Now, there's going to be two different kinds of throws. There's going to be short throws and there's going to be long throws. And this is because there is a perk called strong arm. So I'm actually going to need your guys' opinions. I need to know if you would rather have me include short flag saves or if you'd rather have me include the long saves like you're going to be seeing here. Because I'm not sure if you guys are going to want to try this out and have to run strong arm all the time. However, I know that people would probably prefer to use strong arm and try to get some longer throws because they'll look a little bit more epic and they'll be a little bit harder to pull off. So I'm including 6 total throws in order to save the 3 flags in Domination. However, in other videos, I don't want to spend too much time focusing on this. So I need you to leave a comment saying whether you would like to see more short throws or more long throws. I'm not going to do both. It's special for this video because I really enjoy this map. I like the fact that you can explore the hell out of it as opposed to some of the other really restricted maps in the game. So anyway, I'm going to start explaining some of these spots because you guys might be a little bit confused. But anyway, for the long B flag save over here, you're going to have to line yourself up on this lighter green plant in the area. Whichever one I aimed at, that's the one you're going to want to try your best to center up on. And when you look straight up and throw to B, you will kill enemies who are proned out directly on the center of the flag. The reason why we do proned out on the center is because it's a really good control. You really won't see enemies sitting anywhere else depending on what the map is. So anyway, when you come over here, this is the short throw for C. You need to line yourself up on that one shadowed leaf that you'll see on the ground. When you look straight up to C, you will be able to kill enemies who are directly on the center of the flag. So even as you can see here, the short throws, they really don't look quite as epic as the long ones. I'd have to kind of lean more towards the long throws, especially since you'll be able to hit more random across maps. Finally, we're going to wrap things up here with the C flag strong arm domination flag save. All you need to do is line yourself up with the truck like I do, look straight up to C, and you will kill enemies who are directly on the center of the flag. So again, let me know if you'd rather see the short throws or the long throws. I really hope you guys enjoyed this video. I think it was really in-depth, and I really enjoy this map along with all of the spots. If you guys enjoyed this video, make sure to drop a like, and I'll see you guys later.
Securing C.